Hello out there. Is the third time a charm? Let's find out here quickly. Is it? Can you hear me? This isn't loading on mine. Okay, just give me a quick yes. We can hear you, Jor. We can hear you, man. Finally, we can hear you. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking to myself like the earlier show. Yes, we're back. Okay. Here we are. All right. Hello out there. We're on the air. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Bitcoin Journey. I see some folks in the chat. It's good to see you. It's been a while. It's been about 5 hours. But it seems like StreamYard got their shit together, and we are here now. So, a couple shout outs here. Today, we're going to give Judson Quinn our 88 sats for the best comment. I've been on all three now. Favorite part of my day if I get to listen. That's pretty nice. So, Judson, if you're still in the chat, throw your Lightning address in there, your Lightning URL, and I'll send you 88 sats, just as we do, as tradition. I want to give a shout out to Mert here, new member, new Bitcoin Journeyman. Great way to start support the show. Except Bitcoin Journeyman, I'm going to have a bit of a surprise for you today. Bit of a surprise. And so I want you to remember this date. I want you to remember this block height. Because if you're watching this now, take that as a sign from the universe. Because I'm gonna be talking about something, and we're going to jump over in about 46 minutes from now and watch something pretty cool. So remember this date, December 10th, 2024, block height 874141. This was the day in Bitcoin where your life changed. Today. I know it sounds crazy, a little bit far-fetched, maybe a little bit self-centered, but it's the truth. And I'm a big believer in like the universe, right? I'm a big believer in things happen for a reason. And I think that today, this morning, everything happened for a reason. Let us here. I haven't eaten lunch yet. That's why the door is closed. Arnie's actually just on the other side of that. But the lunch is being served here right now. So I'm running on an empty stomach, but I did not want to miss the show today because something pretty special we got in the works here. And so I'll save that. I'll talk a little bit about that later in the show. But just know that if you're watching this right now, it's a sign. And whatever we're going to talk about today later on and what we're going to watch at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern time is a pretty big deal. So you got that to look forward to. Martha Stewart's Chrome 45, third time's a charm. Yeah, it sounds like we're working here. That's what we want. That's what we need. And I'm glad to know that it wasn't my fault this morning. It was StreamYard. There was a big issue with StreamYard audio everywhere. So let's check in with our newest Bitcoin Journeyman here. Mert. Social media has paved the way for decentralized finance by introducing innovative systems like Bitcoin, where traditional media has fallen short. This transformation shows that the internet is ready. Ready to what? Ready to create its own currency, and that new generation technologies can challenge and change the current system. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. We got 21 Spiels in the chat, one of our new Living in the Future members. Good morning. Josh is in the chat. Afternoon from Ontario. Arn and Jor. Only Jor today. Arn's on the other side of the door. He's locked out because it's lunchtime here. And we don't need a big ruckus going on behind us. Waro, good morning, my friend. We got Chris, Cirrus. I don't know. One of those things. Good morning. Ian, we're back. We're back, baby. Okay, well, where do we begin? That's the question. Where do we begin? Because we only got we got a short show today. Muslim Bitcoiner says, this is the big news for today. Microsoft screwed itself in smartphone market, social media, browser, and Bitcoin. Watch them buy back higher like they always did. Bezos, redeem this, please. I'm not too concerned about Amazon, to be honest with you. Amazon would be great, but the big one is going to be Apple. Whenever Apple announces that they're getting into Bitcoin, that's when it's going mainstream. Jason's in the chat. Good morning, Jason. Can always count on Jason to be here, that's for sure. Buck 52,000, greetings humans. And Dr. Gonzo. Hello. Hello, hello. And Mertz from Berlin. Wow. I got a really good buddy named Mertz. Not Mert, but Mertz. So I thought that was him maybe playing a prank, but it is not. Because he is not in Berlin. Mempool today, again, 874-141. Remember that block height. That is going to be the one that you always think back to in your life. If you're watching the show today, this is a big one, 874-141. And the fees are pretty high right now, 19 sats per VByte. The last winner of 3 of 4 last blocks was Anpool. So not ideal, not what you want, but nothing we can do about it right now other than run yourself a BitAxe. Get yourself a little home miner. You can see mine's plugged in there somewhere. I saw nostr. I didn't know how close you guys were paying attention to my background here in the back. Obviously, we got the Action Cures fear there. I'm going to be changing that once in a while. I'll just update it, keep a fresh one. But somebody bought, I don't think you could see it unless it's just the reflection here, but somebody tagged me in nostr saying that they bought this card. They wanted one of their own. So this is real. This is not AI. I know it looks really professional and fancy back there, but that is the real deal. But you can see a couple different cards here. And maybe I showed them on a different page one time or stream. So you got little baby tiger there, Golf Legends. I like this one. It's really cool. I don't think it's worth very much, but it's just cool. And then we got Tiger Woods rookie card here. So this isn't his official one, though. This is his upper deck version of it. The official one is from Sports Illustrated, believe it or not. A cutout. Remember Sports Illustrated magazines? They used to have cutouts of stuff that you could trim. Kraft used to have the same on like Kraft dinner boxes. But Tiger Woods' actual rookie card is one of those cutouts. Pretty cool. Obviously hard to get in really good shape, but this is the second best one we got. So shout out to, who was it? It was Jason on nostr. He tagged me in a post saying that he bought a Tiger Woods rookie card for himself. Ozekin says, I want more and more Bitcoin. I'm getting greedy. Now is the time to be greedy. And now is the time to be greedy with your time, with your energy, with your Bitcoin vision. Yep. Jason says, everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve, including Bill Gates. Jay's in the chat. Good morning. And Kaplata. Big news, I'd say, is the Willow chip. Quantum FUD all over again, getting more serious, though. Yeah, let's touch on this quickly. I haven't looked too far into it, but it is worth noting. And honestly, I don't know anything about quantum computers. I don't know enough about AI. I don't know how it all works. And so I think that that's actually a positive for me, because I always assume the worst. I always assume that AI, quantum computing, will be able to hack Bitcoin one day. And so kind of my counter to that is a passphrase. Because if you think about it, and maybe I'll clip this, but like if you think about it, and again, I'm a very non-technical person, very paranoid person, but this is just how I counteract any issues from AI and quantum computing. So, when you set up a new wallet, you have 24 words, 12 words, 15 words, whatever you want to use. You get to choose, you get to convert your private key into words. That's how the BIP works. It converts your private key, which is just a bunch of letters and numbers, converts it into words, however you want it to be displayed. So from those words, I believe it's 2,140 words that they get to choose from. So every private key, every seed phrase is made up of the same 2,140 words, I believe. Could be wrong number, but it's a finite amount of words. It's not just like every word in the universe, right? So if you take that and you take all the different scenarios there, and from what I understand, it would take like a trillion years to try to guess one properly and make sure it's connected to the right public key part of that. But I just go under the assumption that it's probably coming. So then you introduce a passphrase into that. And the passphrase is the 13th word or the 25th word onto that. But that's one that you create. So it's not within those walls of like the potential words that you can use for a seed phrase. So it adds a whole nother layer of entropy on top of that. So not only does a passphrase provide like a perfect way to protect yourself in terms of like a decoy, like you have your wallet, you use as a decoy, and then you put a passphrase on top of that, it creates a brand new wallet. But it also adds more entropy to it for things like the Willow chip, for things like quantum computing. And I have no idea how far AI is going to advance, but I would rather be on the side of caution. So if you want a little bit more information on the passphrase, I believe it was episode number 4 in our multi-generational wealth course. We talked about decoy wallets and passphrases. So if you want to access that, you can join the Living in the Future community. In the show notes, it says join. And you get access to the 8-part multi-generational wealth course, which includes passphrase, which includes, what are we talking about this week? Lightning management, lightning wallets, shit like that, stuff like that. And there's been UTXOs in there. There's been a few other things too. So definitely worth the cost of admission. Plus, after you watch today's show, once you hear what we're rolling out here, I think you're going to be wanting to join the Living in the Future community. All right, we got Spiel and Mert talking German by the looks of it in the chat. So we're just going to go ahead and ignore that. I don't know German. Connor says the Bitcoin Amigos links give me a 404 error. That's interesting. That's actually happened to me a couple times too. I have no idea why. But you can just go into YouTube. You can search Bitcoin Amigos. I also put it at the top of the show notes here for everybody for quick access if you don't know how to search things. But let me try it myself. Bitcoin Amigos. Oh, it shows up for me. So I added a link in the show notes here for the Bitcoin Amigos channel right at the top. So that is myself, Chris from Fractal Bitcoin, and Jerry from Jerry Loves Freedom. That's our Friday show. Banging Friday shows, as we call it. Oh, look at this. What do we got? Ian says, my daughter just asked me what time it is where Jor is. I said, it's the afternoon. She said, so basically we're always living in the future. You are. I think that the Australians would be a little bit further into the future. But yeah, where Ian is, they're definitely literally living in the future. Bitcoiner in the making. That's awesome. Excuse me. We don't have any coffee today. We already chugged all the coffee. So what are we drinking today? A little bit of Diet Coke. I know. Horrible for me. I know. Holes in my brain. I know. But I love it. I love me some Diet Coke. But it does give me the burps. So I might be hiccuping here. I'm going to lose my voice too. I've done, I ended up doing a show like we're going to talk about, film that. And then I had a meeting with a guy on the other side of the world where the Bitcoin conference is this weekend. So kind of cool. How does multisig deal with quantum? Does it make a difference? I mean, that's another great part of the multisig too. Even if somebody were to crack one of your wallets open, that's only one key, right? So with multisig, that's going to be another big part of it too, because even if they crack one, good luck cracking two, right? So multisig, passphrase, these kind of things are going to be very important going into the next couple of years. And this isn't going to be for everybody. You have to keep that in mind too. Like, I really believe that over these next couple of years, it's going to be like the people who are here now, they're going to be the ones worrying about their security, about multisig, about passphrases, about insurance on their Bitcoin. Most people won't have a significant amount of Bitcoin to be worried about this kind of stuff. But if you're here now, if you have Bitcoin now, you are definitely somebody who should be looking into passphrases, decoy wallets, multisig, multi-jurisdictional stuff. And if you have any questions, by the way, and this is, I threw this out there on the chat last week, I think, and I've had quite a few discussions in the last week, quite a few meetings about it. So the one thing I'd say is if you are somebody with like over 10 million sats, that's kind of the threshold for this kind of to be thinking about it. But just set up a phone call with me. We'll talk for 10, 15, and it usually goes a little bit longer. But that's okay. We can just figure out where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. And regardless of whatever you want to do, we're going to have somebody who can help you with that through our Bitcoin Citadel service. So it's going to be like a competitor to Bitcoin Advisor, Bitcoin Way. But it's actually people from within this community here. So there's that inherent level of trust. Plus, we're going to be very much more reasonably priced than the competition. I'll tell you that for free. And we're not going to undersell ourselves. We know how valuable this information is, but we're not in the business of ripping people off, right? So set up a call with me. I can figure out, what you need, who is best to serve you, to help you. And yeah, that's where I would start. Honest price. Holy, we've had 3 blocks come in the last 3 minutes here. I love watching the mempool. Ozekin says, what's your honest Bitcoin price prediction for 2025? I would not be surprised if it gets to 1 million. Well, could it happen? Yes. Will it happen? I have no idea. But would it surprise me if it went to 1 million? No. I think once the actual amount of Bitcoin comes out that's available, I think it's just going to shoot through everything. I think that people are really discounting the amount of Bitcoin that's actually available right now. And it's something I'm going to talk about probably in a separate show. But I really think that until we get a real proof of reserve from like the big boys, like the Coinbases, the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, until we can actually log into their proof of reserve and see their holdings, Bitcoin will continue to be manipulated. That's my theory on it. But I'll show you what I mean here. Actually, this is kind of a good lead into this. This is one of the things on the agenda today. By the way, while we have a bit of a break here, while we get to this news, we had quite a few people signing up with the Speed Wallet yesterday, and I've been loving it. So I want you to do that today, regardless of where you are in the world. Go to your app store and download. I'm just going to get you my code here. I'll put in the chat. So in case you weren't in the show yesterday, I'm going to put this in the chat again. So just download the Speed Wallet. And the reason you're going to need this is because it's the fastest way to scan QR codes. It's the fastest wallet I've seen, right up there with Wallet of Satoshi. So go to your app store, download the Speed Wallet. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a sec. So it's called Speed Wallet. That's what the logo looks like, Speed. So go there, download the wallet right now because you're going to need it in about 5 minutes, I would say. And on the initial screen, you got to put in your email address. You got to put in your just email, I think, email, password, and then there's a spot for the referral code, and just put that in there. It's EPN SI5. That's not a 1. I thought it was maybe a 1 yesterday, but it's confirmed an I. So EPN SI5. Enter that into I'll leave it on the screen. Enter that into your referral. Go download it now, and you can try it out today for the Bitcoin Wall giveaway. Because I know that I've tried other wallets, and I talked about this yesterday, but I've tried other wallets, and it's very slow compared to like Wallet of Satoshi and Speed Wallet. So if you haven't been winning the Bitcoin Wall giveaway, try out the Speed Wallet. Just slugging a huge bottle of Diet Coke here. Oh, well. Who cares? Where is this? That's not what I wanted. Hold on here. I must have missed this link. Just give me one moment here. And hopefully in this time right now, you're downloading the Speed Wallet. Let me see who that was. Did you guys see Eric Trump? Speech today? He also predicted 1 million Bitcoin. I don't know if he said in 2025 or not, but pretty cool. And I actually talked to a guy. I don't know if he's watching the show right now. He might be. But I talked to a guy in Dubai this morning, and he was at the conference. He watched Eric Trump's speech, And he said the one thing that really stood out for him was, again, and I think he mentioned this, it was either him or Don Jr. that mentioned this about a month ago, and we talked about it on the show. But they said that they've known Saylor for 20 years. The Trumps have known Michael Saylor for 20 years. And so if you really still believe that this whole thing just kind of came together this year in terms of Donald Trump coming out and supporting Bitcoin all of a sudden, this thing has been in the works for a very, very long time. And I know that there's a lot of theories floating around in terms of like MicroStrategy being the next US strategic reserve. I don't know if I buy that or not, but this has definitely been planned for a very long time. And I think if you're in denial of that, you need to scratch the surface a little bit more. Where is this? This was a Bitcoin reserve that I saw somebody just came out with. Where is this? There it is. So this is what I was talking about here. So proof of reserves. I think that this is going to be the next trend in Bitcoin. And I came out a couple weeks ago and I actually took a lot of shit online for saying this. But I said, I'm not buying any more MicroStrategy until we see the Bitcoin. I want to see the wallets that are actually holding the Bitcoin. And everybody's like, well, it's a public company. Of course they have the Bitcoin. How dare you question Saylor? All this kind of stuff. And I'm like, do you guys forget the whole purpose of Bitcoin? Do you forget like the whole mindset here in terms of don't trust, verify? Yeah, I know they're a public company, but I also know that it's easy to misconstrue some of the numbers. So I'm not saying that Saylor does not have the Bitcoin. I'm saying I want to see that he has the Bitcoin. That's it. I don't think that that's too much to ask. He comes out, he tweets it every week, how much they bought. I don't think it's too much to ask for MicroStrategy to show proof of reserve. And this is what it looks like. This is what the proof of reserve looks like. This is a mempool website. So it says, from Bitcoin News, it says mempool creates a custom dashboard tracking Metapool's Bitcoin holdings. So you can see it right here. You can see their addresses. So mempool designed this custom website for Metaplanet, and it shows their holdings for everybody to see. All the shareholders, all the board of directors, everybody who's interested in buying Metaplanet stock, you can see it. And I think that until we standardize this, until we standardize proof of reserve and all the big Bitcoin companies have this, the price of Bitcoin will continue to be manipulated. Because I really believe that there's a lot of paper Bitcoin floating around out there right now. Because it just doesn't make any sense that there's this much demand for Bitcoin and the price is not through the roof. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And the only way that that's possible, the only way that that's happening is because they're able to create paper Bitcoin, fake Bitcoin. The exchanges, some of the over-the-counters, maybe some of these big institutions don't have the Bitcoin that they say they do. I don't think that that's a stretch for something like that to happen. That's exactly what happened with FTX. They claimed to have all this Bitcoin. They were selling Bitcoin through their exchange. They were funneling it into other cryptocurrencies, but they claimed to have a bunch of Bitcoin. And when everything fell through, when we could see how much Bitcoin they actually had, they had zero Bitcoin. So they were selling Bitcoin on their website, on their platform. People were sending them money to buy Bitcoin, and they had zero Bitcoin. So until we get to a point where this is normalized, proof of reserves, I think that they will continue to keep the price of Bitcoin down. And then you might say, well, why would they want to keep the price of Bitcoin down? Why would that benefit them? Well, because there's only so much Bitcoin, right? And if this thing ran up to 150, 200, 1 million, where it should be today, then everybody would be talking about it. Everybody would be trying to get some Bitcoin. And the big boys who are in the accumulation phase right now, they don't want that to happen. They'll pay any price they need to for it, but they're more worried about the supply than they are the price. Right? That's the only thing that they worry about. They worry about the supply, not the price. And so if this thing blew up, this thing went to $1 million where it should be today, then everybody and their dog would be buying Bitcoin, and then their supply would run out. Right? So until we normalize and force these big companies to show proof of reserves, then it's going to continue. So that's Metaplanet. El Salvador government has the exact same thing. Mempool created a custom website for their holdings, and it's coming. But until then, we're going to keep seeing the price manipulation games happen. The Artisan Tube. I'm on the cusp of buying like $500, $1,000 in Bitcoin, and then I want to buy a little each month for the next 5 to 8 years or longer. Am I too late? No. The game hasn't even started. The train hasn't even left the station. The boat hasn't even left the dock. Like people 10, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to give anything to be here right now. Anything. And you are here right now, and you have the ability. So whether that's 500, 1,000, 10,000, anything that you can get over the next coming years. I mean, keep in mind here, though, you say that you're going to be buying it for the next 5 to 8 years or longer. You're going to be buying Bitcoin for the rest of your life. Anytime you get fake money and you can still convert that into real money, you're going to take that. So I don't know how long we're going to have fake money, but just get into the mindset of like, yes, I'm buying slowly. I'm buying every month. But the value of that, because the supply is so low and because the demand is going up so much, like that, you don't ever underestimate how much like 50,000, 100,000 sats today is going to be in a couple decades from now or less. And don't go in with like certain goals. You want to hit like half a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin and then just stop. Like, no, you're going to be buying Bitcoin for the rest of your life. Not buying, but like earning it. And when you can no longer trade fake money for real money, you're either going to have to earn Bitcoin or you're going to have to trade in real assets, not fiat. So we're still at a point where we can trade fiat for Bitcoin. There's still people who have Bitcoin who are willing to sell that for fake fiat. And it won't always be like that. Separate X says, what happens when everything goes undervalued under Bitcoin? How does that change Bitcoin and the economy? I'm not sure what you mean. When everything goes undervalued under Bitcoin. Did I really need the biggest fucking bottle of Diet Coke here? I feel like I'm going to hit the camera with it. I mean, the only thing that's going to happen here is that Bitcoin is just going to reprice everything, right? And the reason it's repricing everything is because it's the only thing that we know is for sure accurate amount, verifiable amount, and fixed. And when you have an asset like that, we've never had one before, but when you have an asset like that, it just reprices everything. So the price and everything is probably going to continue to go up in dollars, but it's going to continue to go down in Bitcoin terms. Okay, this is way too many. I don't have the mental capacity right now to talk about that stuff. Sorry. I'm telling you, I was up last night. I was up till about 3:30 a.m. because my brain wouldn't shut off. I've been thinking about doing something here, which I'm going to talk about in about 5 minutes. But I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while. This was kind of my grand vision of 88 Sats channel, living in the future community. And last night while I was laying in bed or before I went to bed, it all kind of just clicked. And I got into bed. I laid there for about an hour. I tried my best to like remember everything. And I was like, you know what? I can't. So I had to get out of bed. I was up for a couple hours. And if you saw the notepad that I was writing in, like it was pitch dark and I was just trying to write things with a flashlight. It's hilarious. But anyways, the point of that is like, I'm not all there right now. I had very, very little sleep. So I don't have time for I don't have the capacity for quantum talk right now. AJ says, might be a dumb question, but if someone has your 24 words, they can access your stack regardless of multisig. No. They could access your wallet, but with a multisig, you need at least 2 of the wallets to sign a transaction. So if you only have 24 words to one of those wallets, then you can't do anything with the Bitcoin. Tommy D. Morning, brother. Good morning. Or afternoon, I guess. Buck52,000 says, kind of in the same vein, say you keep your Bitcoin on the exchange. Let's say there's liquidity crunch. Could the exchange sell your Bitcoin and repay fiat? I don't know. That's why I don't keep any Bitcoin on exchanges, because I don't know what would happen with that. And I don't really want to be in a scenario where I have to be the one who finds out. Josh says, surprised Jorah isn't having an original 16 brewski. Sister lived in Saskatoon. Yeah, I actually love the original 16 beer. It's good stuff. Really cool story about how that whole thing happened too, with the original 16. Ties into what we're talking about today, actually, the original X amount of people. But anyways, I'll quit teasing you and I'll just talk about it in a second here. Zane says, university wants me to pay $4,000 for 2 online classes with a lot of material for the class is YouTube videos to learn, which is so dumb. I think I'm better off buying more Bitcoin. 100%. 100%. Schools, universities, colleges, unless you're going like to a trades program, like you're learning things that are completely irrelevant. And you're not, where we're going to, you're not going to need a university degree. Judson says, I was going to ask if you saw a scenario where Bitcoin continues to succeed and MicroStrategy fails. Not having proof of reserves is one way. Yeah, I agree with that. That's really the only way that MicroStrategy could fail while Bitcoin succeeds, is if they get hacked or if they actually don't have the Bitcoin, because they're not holding the Bitcoin themselves, right? It's some of it's at Fidelity, some of it's at Coinbase, some of it's at NYDIG, I believe. But I do think that once BNY Mellon is an official custodian of Bitcoin, I think MicroStrategy is going to move all their Bitcoin to them. But that's another risk, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about that. Just let's put that on pause for a sec. Dirk fan number 7, the thickest Canadian accent in the game. Loving the content. Am I? I think there's a lot of Canadian Bitcoiners. Sorry, Zapstream. I've been completely neglecting you here. Daniel's over there, Plunger's over there, and a few more people who are quiet are over on the Zapstream this morning. By the way, if you're not on Zapstream, if you're on the YouTubes, and if you feel like sending some value in here, I don't even have the QR code. No wonder we haven't gotten any zaps yet today. So I'll put up Arnie's wallet here in case you don't feel like using the QR code there, but no, that's not the one. There it is. So we got the Zapstream here, and I did the classic plug in the phone, but the cord's actually not connected to the wall. So I thought the thing was charging all morning, but it's got 10% left. So any zaps you're going to have to send in the next couple minutes, otherwise the phone's going to die. So this is for the YouTube Zapstream. You can send any amount to Arnie's wallet here, QR code, or with his address right here, Adopted Son 98. And it shows up right in the wallet here. So send a little message. And Spaceman, yeah, we're live, baby. We're live. Letha's over there too in the Zapstream. Okay, let's give away a little bit of Bitcoin here, because you guys, I put you through enough today. I put you through about 20 minutes of no audio this morning. So you definitely deserve a little bit of free biddy. So hopefully you got your, I hate these CAPTCHA things. Hopefully you got your Speed wallet downloaded, and maybe you can claim the Bitcoin today. Okay, let's get that off. Let's switch to the new banner here, the Bitcoin Well. And we're in dark mode now. I found the dark mode on this. So look out. Look out. All right, just give me 1 sec here. Okay, so get your wallets out, get your Speed wallets open. And the fastest person to scan this is going to win some sats today. Look at this dark mode. Dark mode Bitcoin Well. Do we have any unclaimed sats? Always got to check. No, damn. Okay, we ready? We set? Go. $500 sats. And if you're using the Speed wallet, you probably won that one. So there you have it. Those sats are courtesy of our friends at the Bitcoin Well. My favorite exchange to use by far. You can buy, you can recur and buy. This is the best way if you're somebody who likes the DCA route. Make sure oh, look at that fat zap Tuesday. Somebody just sent in 4,000 sats to Arnie's wallet. No message either, anonymously. Thank you. God bless you. And also somebody sent in 2,100 sats this morning. I don't know who that was, but it was during the audio list show this morning. So thank you to whoever sent in 2,100 sats as well. Very much appreciated there. So with the recurring buy, that's where you can send. It's a beautiful thing. You just set up Bitcoin Well as a payee in your online banking with these two: the payee name, the payee account information. You set up your desired frequency in your online banking, and you could do like $10 a week, $15 a week, $50 a month, whatever it is. But you don't even have to think about it. And those sats will just go directly, or your money will go directly from your bank to Bitcoin Well, and that'll flow right into your Lightning address. And so you don't have to worry about like UTXOs building up. You can just kind of let it grow in your Lightning wallet. And then once you get to like 100, 200,000 sats, that's when you send it to your cold storage. So I highly, highly recommend Bitcoin Well if you're in North America. Unreal. And sponsor the show as well today and every day. So we got to make sure that we're supporting them back. Judson says, I found you too late. As an avid golf lover and Bitcoiner, I would have paid double to be part of the 88 Sats Golf. Well, Judson, I would say a couple things to that. First one is that, we'll probably have a couple people selling their shares in the coming years just because they don't want to, they don't believe in the vision. They want to cash out their shares. So what I would say is just shoot me an email. Say, I want to be put on the waiting list for the 88 Sats project. If somebody wants to sell their share, then it'll go to like an auction and you can bid on their share. So those aren't completely out of the realm yet. There's still hope there for golfers. There's, quite a few people on the waiting list already, but it is going to be an auction. So it's not going to be like based on who's signed up or who's, said earlier. It's based on how much you're willing to pay to be in there. So that's one. And the other one too, though, is our Bitcoin investment club that we're already building. I think there is 30 people in there already in the chat. Let me see. Let me confirm that. 29 members. So nobody's paid yet. And I don't want people to pay yet because everybody's Bitcoiner. So everybody can just hold on to their sats. They can earmark it for the Bitcoin Investment Club. But we're going to probably spend the next year or two and looking for opportunities. It might not be a golf course, but it could be. So the second 2.0 Bitcoin Investment Club is not going to be specifically focused on a golf course. It's going to be whatever we want, whether that's real estate in El Salvador, whether that's a private jet, whether that's a golf course, whatever's making money, whatever's going to outperform Bitcoin, that's what we're going to be investing in. So we're taking I think it's going to be 88 or 100 people in there. And once we get up there, we'll start making some actual like moves in terms of strategy. And the nice thing about that, and what I'm going to talk about here right away, is it's all completely decentralized, which means that I don't have any sort of decision-making ability in it. It's just whatever the group wants to do, that's what gets done. Rick says, more like smashing, please. Oh my goodness. We got 63 people in here total, and we got 22 likes. That's 1/3. Oh, that hurts. Ginger won it with Coinos. Wow. There you go. I had a heck of a time scanning with Coinos the other day. Zekin says, what's the best way to earn passive sats income with Bitcoin? Passive sats. Well, I'm going to give you the best way to earn passive sats here. So let's go to that. We had a couple of things to talk about how we have for time. Just put that on pause. Put that on pause. Steven. 7. Okay. We got a lot of stuff happening here, folks. Busy. It's good. Okay, I want to show you this video, and this is what the title today was inspired by. I want on. It's 4 minutes long. Okay, we can do it. It's definitely worth a listen to. So I'm not going to say too much because we don't have a whole lot of time here, but let's watch this video on Bitcoin rockets in value after Trump's victory.
Recently climbing more than $100,000 per. This as investors anticipate Donald Trump will usher in a new era of crypto-friendly policies and legislation during his first 100 days. What's that mean to you? Chris Giancarlo is the former chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission under Donald Trump. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in here. Here's a Treasury document called Bitcoin Digital Gold. We've heard that before, okay? That's one element. Next one, Elon Musk praising El Salvador's impresso crypto reserve. All right, so that's an interesting relationship. Why is this happening now? What does the incoming administration see as favorable for Bitcoin?
You know, there's a number of reasons why this is happening. One is because the technology has come about. We finally reached the stage of the internet where we can go beyond storing information on the internet to actually storing things of value. Things of value like wealth, things of value like ownership of.
Okay, I just want to stop that because I think this is important, because he just said that we're finally at a time now where we can store not just information, but actual wealth online. And he said that up until now, we couldn't do this before. And it's not necessarily now, but this is when in 2009. And the only way that you can store actual wealth and important data like Bitcoin on the internet is through proof of work. And so up until 2009, the internet was not capable of a proof of work protocol, right? So he's saying that it's ready now, but it actually wasn't until 2009 where you could start storing things on the internet. Because if you think about it, like we could always store things on the internet. And what is Bitcoin? It's a thing on the internet. It's information. But it's the SHA-256 protocol and the proof of work protocol that come together. And it wasn't until the internet was ready for that when they could actually go ahead with what we're doing with Bitcoin. So that's what he means there. And I think that that's important. I'll maybe rewind that again.
Reasons why this is happening. One is because the technology has come about. We finally reached the stage of the internet where we can go beyond storing information on the internet to actually storing things of value. Things of value like wealth, things of value like ownership of a home. This is what they call the new wave of the internet, an internet of value, and the technology's there. In fact, when you think about Bitcoin or Ethereum or these others, what they really are is protocols that allow us to store value on the internet, as opposed to the way we've been doing it in human society for only the last 400 years, storing value in basically an IOU from a financial institution. And as we've learned in the last 40 years, during which the internet has never gone down, banks have failed, including 3 banks of America's top 20 just in the last 3 years. So moving value storage on the internet is an idea whose time has come.
Okay, you got that?
Kind of. I'm going to ask you this. So on call for number 4, this is the number of crypto millionaires that's been surging. Okay, so I think one of the things that happens, and you had a good question to him initially, which is, what does it mean for you? Because when most people are thinking about themselves, like, well, I don't understand this stuff, so I don't know how to invest in it. One thing you said is crypto is the umbrella, right? Is that right?
That's right.
And then Bitcoin is one type of crypto.
That's right.
And there are lots of different types of crypto.
Exactly.
So what's a good crypto and what's a bad crypto? How do you know?
Right. So just as there's multiple protocols for storing information, there's HTML, HTTP. They all do different things. Some are good for website establishment. Some are good for email. In a similar way, different cryptos allow you to store different values. Bitcoin, which is the most widely known and has had the most spectacular success, might be the equivalent, as you said, Bill, to digital gold. In the previous world, the analog world, what cash was to gold, in the digital world, digital money may be to Bitcoin. Let me give you another example. We live in a time where 1 out of every $4 has been printed in the last 5 years. We are actively debasing our currency.
Okay, I just realized what time it is here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop over to Patreon right now. I'm going to shut down the YouTube, all streams, because I set up this video on Patreon, Living the Future channel, that starts in 2 minutes from now, or 1 minute. And so here's the thing. I mentioned at the start of the show, I really want you to take this as a sign from the universe, because I'm not going to talk about this too much anymore, if at all, on the main channel here, because I don't, that's just how I do things. And I don't know the exact reason why that is, but I just believe that if you're here now, if you're watching this either now or later, and you're interested in being involved in the future of Bitcoin and really riding this wave of Bitcoin as a community here, I look back to this comment here from Josh in terms of the original 16. It's something like that. It is going to change the future of this channel, of the living in the future. And it's going to be something where if you're a part of it, passive income too. And I really mean it's going to be passive income. So I want you to check it out. You got about a minute. Even if you miss like the first couple minutes of the video today, you can, if you're watching it later, you can always join. I'm going to pin it at the top of the Patreon feed. And again, if you want to just sign up for 7 days, watch this video, see if you're interested, and then cancel, I don't care. I'm just not going to talk about it on this. It's going to be basically what's going to happen here. I'll just give you a brief explanation for the next minute here, but there's going to be a cutoff date, December 31st. Anybody who's in this tier, this new tier that we're creating, is going to be part of this. And it's going to go on for 2025. I'm going to put a lot of time and energy into building this in 2025. And then in 2026, it's going to flip, where all the money from the membership, the network here, is all going to go into a community fund where everybody has equal ownership. And we're going to convert that into Bitcoin, and we're going to pay out Bitcoin dividends every year. So it might sound a little bit like pyramid scheming, but keep in mind there's no pyramid here, because everybody who's going to be part of this is going to be an equal owner in it. So you bring in value, you get value back. You bring in some value, everybody in the group benefits the exact same. So that's all I'm going to say. I really encourage you to go watch the video. I'm going to jump over there right now. It's a live drop on there, so we can all watch it together. But I'm interested. So we're going to watch that. And then next week, we're going to do like a live show where people can ask questions if they want any more information on it. It's going to be very, very, very good. This was kind of my grand vision from the beginning. And it's kind of cool to see that we're here now and we can do this. It happened a lot faster than I thought we were going to be able to. So that's it for today. Thanks once again for dealing with the issues this morning. And I really wanted to do a show today to talk about some stuff and what we're going to talk about right now. So if you're a member over there, head over, check out the live drop. It started 1 minute ago, and you might have to rewatch it a couple times just to get a good idea of what's going on. But so we're going to watch that, and then we're going to do a live show next week and answer questions. And once people have like some time to sleep on it, to think on it, and to poke holes in it, essentially. So I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think this is going to be a big trend into the future in terms of like decentralized networks and groups and ventures. And so take it as a sign. If you're watching this today, in the show notes, join Living the Future. We're already 1 minute late, so I'm going to hop over there right now. And so everybody in Living the Future, we'll see you there. And I hope that if you're not there, that you will be a member after today. So thank you once again. I saw a couple more zaps come in, 121 and 500 and 888 too just came in. And Spaceman zapped 121 and Daniel zapped 138 over in the zap stream. So thank you for that. I got to top this up too before I forget. So we're going to jump over there, check it out, and we'll see you right back here first thing tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.